what's next. You got to experience the new look of Inquirer Sports where fans can read, watch, and listen to their favorite reporters and columnists. Go to inquirer.com/sports. Well, that's where you could read the great work from a man who does a great job covering the Sixers. Keith Pompey joins us. Keith, good morning, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hi, Keith. We're doing great. The camp of Ace Bailey doesn't seem to be doing great unless they're trying to get exactly what they want, which maybe that is their play. Would love to get your reaction from the latest report yesterday that Ace Bailey doesn't even want to come to the Sixers. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's one of those things where, if you're Ace Bailey, you're looking at a situation where, you're looking for the clearer path to become a superstar, right? Or you think that you can be the guy. And you look at the 76ers and you say, well, they have Joel Embiid, they have Tyrese Maxey, they have Paul George. This is a team that's trying to make the playoffs and win the championship, rather. And, how are they going to utilize me? If I go to Washington, if I go to Brooklyn, if I go to a team like that, then they're just going to roll the ball out and say, go ahead, Ace, go get buckets. And they're going to let me live with my mistakes. So, to me, it is one of those things that, some people will get upset about. But at the same time, I guess he's looking at it like, I don't want to be a Tobias Harris. I don't want to be another guy who, just stands in the corner.
Or he's somebody that's afraid to play in certain situations, and that's why he went to Rutgers instead of going to any of the other schools that recruited him.
You don't know that. The thing about it is, the thing that he went to Rutgers is because, my thing is, we can all assume, and I'm not here to take up for the guy, but I think that, the guy who's his agent had a friend who is an assistant coach there, and he went there, and it might be a bad decision, and when you look back at it, but at the same time, who's to say? It's easy to make fun of him, but Kristaps Porzingis refused to work out for the Sixers. Jahlil Okafor refused to work out for the Sixers. The Sixers ended up drafting Okafor. So it's just one of those things. I think the problem with this whole thing is that it's made public. Right? It's not the first time that a guy did not want to come to a team for a workout. And typically the reason why a guy does not want to come to a team for a workout is because a team lower, who is a better fit for him, done promised him. Now, I don't know if it's this case, but they done promised him that, hey, we're going to draft you. So, you know what I mean? So, again, I'm not here to take up for the guy. I think that he's getting some bad guidance.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's made public when things tend to stay in-house, if that makes sense.
Well, Keith, that's exactly why I'm calling for a hostage situation tomorrow night. I think the 76ers have already seen two organizations in New Orleans and Washington where even leaks out of their organization, their media corps, where in his camp, in Ace Bailey's camp, talk about those two organizations. I'm holding him hostage. I'm drafting him, and then I'm guaranteeing myself somebody is going to do that.
Yeah, that's it. Now, here's the thing. This is a little tricky with that. Now, if you draft them, you got to be 100% sure that those people are going to, at that particular time, give you what you want to get them. Because the thing is, let's just say if you do that, and we're talking about Washington is number 6, right?
Right.
So
or New Orleans.
You may not. Or New Orleans. New Orleans, number 7. You may not get the player that you want if you wait that long. Just because there's a lot of teams that are saying that, there's not a lot of separation from, 3 to 5, maybe 6. So at that scenario, then you're going to have trade down, and it may not be the impact player that you really consider that you want.
But,
now again,
but is Ace the best player on the Sixers board at 3? They shouldn't be bullied into not taking him, correct?
Yeah, correct. And we got to understand something too. You remember Steph Curry did not want to go to the Golden State Warriors. Now again, I'm not comparing this guy to Steph Curry.
Right.
So I don't want
just the situation.
Sure.
Yeah, the situation. So it's to a point that, again, y'all, this isn't really uncommon. It is. I mean, it's not what you prefer, or you would like to see, but it's not the first time that it has happened. And again, we all know he's going to deny it. I didn't say that. I just was looking out for the best thing for me. So that, I don't know. You can hold him hostage if you want, but you got to be careful. If you got this guy sitting there and the player that you can't draft or you want to draft, you can't get him, then what are you going to do?
So curious.
Like, what are you going to do?
You're curious. Your read on the situation. We're a day away from the NBA draft with all this talk about Ace Bailey not wanting to play here. Who knows what's smoke, what's real? What do you think the Sixers end up doing tomorrow night?
Man, I don't know. This one is wide open. This one really is. I mean, ideally, if you can, you can see what other teams are looking for and what they do. And I don't even think the Sixers are 100% committed to doing something right now because there's so many options. Like we talk about trading down. VJ Edgecombe is the guy that everybody's talking about. But then with VJ Edgecombe and with the salary cap restrictions, yes, some people say you got to take what you believe is the best player available. But at the same time, that typically happens when teams are already have their roster together, or they're a rebuilding team. The Sixers are trying to win, so is it going to benefit you for having 6 guards on the roster and no power forwards? So to me, it's really like this is a tough spot for the Sixers right now.
Right now, when you look at the East and how open people are saying it is, with all the injury situation, if the commissioner sat you down and said, Keith, let's have a beer. What could I do to maybe get the players to be healthier come playoff time? What could I do to maybe cut down on injuries across my sport? Is there anything you'd suggest to him that you think was viable?
It's weird because nowadays everybody's talking about load management or whatever, and guys are training, supposed to be doing better things or eating, their nutrition, everything is up. But it just seems like injuries are up, right?
Sure.
It's weird. I mean, that's a great question. I mean, it's just, I think maybe what could happen is, like, in the off season, guys are working out hard, working on their games. In the past, they didn't. They would take time off. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, they would come back and do certain things, but they would take at least a month or 2 off, and then they would, like, rev back up. I think that is a lot of times when you're going year-round like this, it leads to injury because you're not giving your body a rest. Now, again, you do think that what you're doing is like, oh, well, I'm having the proper nutrition. I'm getting like 9 hours a night of rest. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But it just seems like all these injuries are like wearing down. And I feel bad for Halliburton because, he messed his calf up. He's trying to help his team out and win a championship. And then next thing you know, he's done for the year. So it's a tough one. But I do feel like, guys are going hard 12 months out of the year. And it's tough no matter how much rest you get you at night and then no matter what your nutrition is like.
All right, Keith, real quick, rapid fire, 4 names. Are they on the Sixers to start the season? Gershon Yabusele, yes or no?
I would say no.
Quentin Grimes, yes or no?
Woo, that's a tough one. I'm going to say yeah.
Paul George, yes or no?
Yep.
And Jared McCain, to your point about the abundance of guards.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be here.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, just needed to get that out there. Thanks for the time, Keith. We appreciate
Keith.
it, man. We'll
Enjoy
be reading your
summer,
work in the
and we'll
Inquirer.
keep reading.
And enjoy your night tomorrow. And I know it's going to be a busy one.
All right, y'all. Have a great one. Peace.
All right, there he is, Keith Pompey on the Comcast Business Hotline.
I always love the peace.
Peace.
Keith.
It's great. Buddy, thank you so much for being a part of our journey on a daily basis, watching here on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. We always appreciate you doing that because it makes our jobs a lot better when the bosses are happy. So thank you very much, and keep on watching.